So now that you have officially established business credit, now you're looking to see how to get more credit and to even get a bigger amount of credit. But when you apply for other business credit, you have lenders telling you that that your score isn't high enough or your score isn't sufficient to qualify for higher loan amounts. So let's get into it. Let's talk today about your business credit score, otherwise known as your PAYDEX score. All right, if this is the first time you're joining me, my name is Mel. This is Team U Credit and Finance, where we talk about credit. We talk about, regular personal credit. We talk about business credit. We talk about anything having to do with finance. We talk about housing. We talk about deals. We talk about anything having to do with earning and saving our money. So let's discuss how your business credit score works. So, just like your personal credit, every month you are scored. When you have a business, you are scored for your business credit. And so, and again, I'm going to keep making comparisons with personal and business credit because although they're two different things, although we're not commingling both of them, but we have to make our comparisons to really see the difference and the similarities with both to see how they work hand in hand. So, as I said, just like with the three credit bureaus, you'd have your TransUnion, your Equifax, and your Experian. And, every month, you get your credit report card of your personal finances. Well, if you flip it, you have your business credit score, your business credit report card. That one is known as your PAYDEX score. And every month when you run a business, you also get those scores. Okay? And so your business credit score basically tell lenders or tell suppliers or people that you work with how you manage your business's credit, how you're managing the revenue that's coming in, how are you spending money, are you paying your bills on time in your business? Okay, like I said, it's the same thing, just like your personal credit, but the only difference is that your business or your EIN number, aka tax ID, is the one that's being reported and being scored. With your personal credit, that's your social security number that allows you to get your credit report or your credit score every month. That's where your credit is being reported to. So let's, dive into the PAYDEX score some more. So PAYDEX score ranges from 0 to 100, or your business credit score from 0 to 100. We know the difference that with personal credit that it's anywhere from 0 to 800, right? Or 800 plus. But in any event, the business credit score stops at 100. Now, the goal and the hope is that your credit score is, very high, your business credit score, because the higher your business credit score is the more or the better that you can qualify for more credit or for higher limits on business credit, also known as business funding. So you might be asking at this point, you might be saying, okay, well, what is, an ideal score for business credit? So from what I understand and what I've seen and what I've known and what I also research is that 80 is an ideal score. 80 says that you have good credit. If you notice, the 80 is very close to 100. But realistically, for a new person that's starting a business or just trying to build their business credit score, 80 might be a bit high. So let's try to see how we can work towards building at 80. So again, just like your personal credit, you might run your business credit score. And I'm going to tell you the places that you can get your business credit score from to know exactly what's on your report. So we have three places that really monitor your business credit score. The first one is Dun & Bradstreet. And I had mentioned before that Dun & Bradstreet gives you like a unique number. In other words, it's like a business identification number also, other than your tax ID. You have a Dun & Bradstreet number. When you have a Dun & Bradstreet number, that shows a lot of credibility to your business. That shows that you're well established. That shows that you're an ongoing business. That shows that this is not a fly-by-night activity. This is not something that you just say you're doing. You actually have a Dun & Bradstreet number. Anyone that's looking to extend credit to you in your business should be able to look up your Dun & Bradstreet number. So again, Dun & Bradstreet requires for them to report a good score that you have at least an 80% or higher. I don't know, I guess there's people that might have 100, but if you have 80%, you're doing very, very well. And just like with personal credit, if your score is lower or your score is not as high for your business credit or to get funding, you might want to open accounts or, show transactions with different accounts, something called net 30 accounts, to get a higher, Paydex or higher business credit score. So Dun and Bradstreet is one of the corporations that you could actually get your business credit score from. Okay. The next one that you could get your business credit score from is Experian. Now, some of us are familiar with Experian already. Experian also gives a personal credit score. Difference with Dun and Bradstreet and Experian is that Dun & Bradstreet does not give us personal credit scores, but Experian does. But this is also known as Experian Business, okay? Experian Business reports how you're managing your business credit each month. And as I said, it's really essential to know, where your business is being rated or where your business is being, reported to. Because it's like, okay, you have these accounts, but you're not really sure of who is giving you what or what score you're getting for these accounts. The business credit score is also reported to Experian or reported by Experian. All right, the next one that we have is Equifax. Again, just like, Experian, Equifax also has, a personal credit rating. But for the sake of this video and this information, we're talking about Equifax for business reporting. So those are the three, the Dun & Bradstreet, the Experian, and the Equifax. Those are the ones that report your business credit score. And our goal and our aim is to get 80 and above. So let's just quickly dive into how we can get a higher score. If this is the first time you're joining me, my name is Mel. This is Team U Credit and Finance, where we are talking about business credit scores today. We talk about business credit, we talk about regular credit, and we also talk about housing, we talk about leveling up, we talk about growing, earning, and making more money. So let's just dive right back in. So now that, you've established your business, now you know where your credit's being reported, you know where you're getting your credit report card from. How about we talk about ways that we could build that business credit score to 80 or above? Okay, now different lenders might take different scores, but the average that, most of them look for is anywhere, if you're pushing up to like 80, then you're really in a good ballpark for you to get funding. If you think about it, the higher your business credit score is, it's the easiest for you to get funding. So let's go back into some ways that we can basically get our business credit score up, our Paydex score up. First thing that you want to do is you want to try to get those net 30 accounts. And you have places like Grainger that you could order supplies from. And again, you have also other merchant accounts that, when you order from them, they report every month. And just like with regular credit, they watch you and see how you pay your bills. So if you're paying your bills good, and everything is working well, and you're actually getting it reported, you're building up your business credit score. So business credit score and personal credit score is similar in a sense that you're still paying your bills, you still have to pay it on time, you still have to be consistent with it, because you can't have it where you're paying sometimes or you're not paying all the time and your score is not being reported. It does make a difference. Okay, that's how you get that credit score built up. Building those credit score up is a good way for you to get a lot of funding for your business. Now, ideally, a lot of people like to start with getting business credit cards. Business credit cards don't have to be the first thing that you get when it comes to funding. You could always, as I said, get those net 30 accounts or those merchant accounts. It still is reported on your business credit score each month. It doesn't really matter. If you get those merchant accounts or those net 30 accounts that are reported to your business credit score every month, to those three bureaus that I mentioned, Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax, this is a gateway for you to be able to get actual business credit cards. All right. And again, with business credit cards, the limits are extremely high. Business credit cards aren't like regular credit cards where you're getting like maybe like 500 or 1,000. You could have a business credit card where they give you credit for maybe like $10,000. It all depends. But if you think about it, for you to get those higher limits, you basically need to have a good credit score. Just like with personal credit, if the score isn't high, you are not going to get those high limits. So it would behoove you to try to, get those merchant accounts going, pay on time, and get that score up. Okay? Again, if this is the first time you're joining me, my name is Mel. Welcome to Team U Credit and Finance, where we're discussing about getting our business credit score and ways to help us get a higher amount of business credit, being that we have a good or a decent business credit score, also known as a Paydex score. Okay? So essentially, what you're doing is you are working towards having the ultimate or the optimal score, which is 80 and above. That's what you're working towards, because once you have that score, it's going to be very easy for you to get funding. Now, Once you start getting funding or you start, opening business credit cards, you know that if you open one and you manage one good, you could always extend to get another one. A lot of companies, use business credit card, to buy supplies. They use business credit cards to, apply for other cards. They use business credit cards because if you can show that you already have one card consistently or two and you're consistently paying, that could work against you. I'm sorry, that could work with you in getting another credit card, another business credit card. So you always want to, if you're able to establish and open one, you always want to try to get another one. It's always good to have more in, more in your company, more in your business. The more the merrier, right? See, when we have a business and we're running a business, we don't want it to be where we're just limited to just one place or to one way to fund our business. We have to have multiple sources of funding. So let's dive into another way how your Paydex score helps you to get funding. So now you have your merchant accounts that you've been paying consistently. You have your business credit cards. You have a few of them, even if you're just starting out with one, but now you have a few business credit cards. Now that you have those business credit cards, you're thinking about getting like loans or other type of funding for your business. That way, if you want to extend or you want to make your business better, you could also apply to get loans or other types of funding. Now, with the business credit cards, people use those to make specific purchases. Or, like let's say somebody travels in your company, maybe they have a business credit card to pay for flights, whatever you want to use your credit card for. Again, you're doing these transactions these months and you're showing that you are spending the card in your business. You're not doing personal transactions. So what I would tell you is this: once you even have those business credit cards, you're not going to be commingling accounts. You're not going to be commingling. You're not going to be doing personal transactions with your business credit card. Okay, you're just going to keep it separate. Because the more you can separate it, because remember, as I've said before, when you have even that business bank account and you want to show a record of how you're spending that money, all your transactions, you don't want to mix the funds together. Okay, you don't want to commingle business and personal funds together. You want to keep them separate. And once you keep it separate, it just shows you have a consistency and you have your transactions that are going through the business account, right? So those are some of the ways that you build it up. So once you're built up with the merchant accounts, you're building up with the business credit cards, let's segue and go into getting funding, right? Funding is much easier to apply for now because when you apply for funding, when you apply for loans for your business, remember, you're going to show your record of your business credit cards. You're going to show the record of your merchant accounts or your Net 30 accounts, right? You also have your business bank statements, and you also have a little time on the bank statements to show exactly how you've been managing those monies. Now, on the business bank statements, right? How does that work when you apply for the loan? When you have the business bank statements just showing the transactions in and out, okay? When you get the business bank accounts, you want to ensure that every single thing that you're doing for the business, you're doing it through the bank accounts. Don't mix. I don't care if you have a business where you run an auto type business and you buy gas for your car, you buy fuel. Okay, let's say you have like a trucking company, you buy fuel for your trucks. Do it in your business bank account. All right. Some of those cards, even if you get like some of those cards where you get gas or whatever you get, okay, those cards, okay, those are business credit cards also. Those cards are also reported to Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, and Experian. They still report them because, again, you're still doing transactions, right? So now I want to hear from you. I want to know if you've started the process of trying to build up your business credit score. Have you gotten business credit? Where are you in your business credit journey? What have you gotten? Are you aware of the 3 bureaus that actually score you when it comes to a business? Do you know that each month you get a business report card just like with your personal credit? There is no difference. The only difference is that they're reporting to the business credit bureaus. The business credit bureaus are the ones that actually score your business. And this is the reason why you needed, or you should have gotten, if you legitimately established a business, you should have gotten that tax ID number /EIN number. Because your tax ID and your EIN number is what they use to report to the business credit bureaus. Okay? That is what lenders, whether it's a credit card, a business credit card, it's a merchant account, it's, for a loan or some other type of funding, they're going to be looking at your tax ID / your EIN number. Okay. And they also look at your statements. So if you know that you want to get funding, I would say don't get discouraged about not getting enough funding. All you really have to do is just ensure that whatever accounts that you have, that they're properly being reported. And again, just like with regular credit, if you know you're reporting your accounts and you're making your purchases, within the business, it doesn't matter. Just like your personal credit, you can pull your business credit score to see exactly what is being reported. I tell anybody, whether business or personal, you have to definitely get your credit score and get your credit report, and check and see that the things are being accurately reported. Now, if merchants, if lenders make mistakes on it, you have a right to dispute it. There is no difference. The only difference is that it's being reported about your business. So those are just some of the tips that I would, give anyone to just be vigilant about your credit score, your business credit score rather. Just be vigilant about how it's being reported. Look at it, compare it, check, ensure that it's actually being reported accurately, ensure that you're getting your score each month. And just like with your regular credit, if something is on your business, credit report and it's not accurate, you have a right to dispute it with the bureaus. It works the same way. Only difference is that you're ensuring that your credit is being reported about your business properly to the 3 bureaus. Everyone has to be aware and vigilant of how business credit really works, because a lot of business owners often get frustrated because they say, listen, I'm doing everything right, I have my merchant accounts, I'm paying my bills each month, but yet I can't seem to really get a bigger or a better amount of credit. And sometimes they just don't know that that they have to check and see how it's being reported. That Paydex score is literally the meat and potatoes of how you get funding. Okay? If the Paydex score isn't, high enough, or it's not up to par, you're not going to qualify for any type of funding. You're not going to qualify for those business credit cards. You're not going to qualify for those loans that you want to make your business bigger. All right? As business owners, we should always try to ensure that we have enough money, because money is the last thing that you should be worrying about. Yes, you are concerned about making money for your business. Yes, you want your business to thrive. But when I say money is the last thing that you should worry about, I'm talking about you shouldn't be worrying about if you have enough credit or you have enough money in the business to purchase supplies or to provide services to people, because we know that money makes money. You got to have some type of money to start, right? You should not be worried about that. Your biggest thing that you should be worrying about is just running your business with, enough money, or your business generating enough revenue for you to make a profit. That is your biggest concern right now. It is absolutely nothing else. So with that said, if this content resonates with you, share the video, drop a comment, let me know where you are in your business credit journey. Because again, once we have our business credit, we have our money. There is no telling how far we can definitely go with this. So, beautiful people, team, thank you so much for joining me today. Again, my name is Mel. This is Team You Credit and Finance. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. It would really help for anyone that is trying to get started with business credit, that is really not aware of how business credit really works, specifically how your Paydex score works and how you're being rated and scored. A lot of people don't know that they literally get a business credit score. They don't know that, that each month, just like with your personal score, that you get a report that goes to the 3 bureaus. A lot of people are not aware that there's 3 major business credit bureaus that actually report exactly how you're doing. So with that said, I just hope that anyone that sees this, that they could, research. And another thing I want to tell you is that please, always know exactly what they're reporting about you. Know exactly what's being reported about your business. Ensure that your business address is properly reported. Ensure that, your company's expenditures, the revenue that you're making is properly reported. Ensure that your transactions are being properly reported. Okay? Because those things that are being reported on there makes a difference in your business thriving and being able to get funding. Right? The worst thing is that we don't want to, have a business, and because of inaccuracies that's being reported, with our Paydex score to the business credit bureaus, where we're not allowed to get funding or we can't get funding. Again, we're not here to be frustrated. We're just here to make our money and let our businesses grow. So with that said, beautiful people, thank you so much. Team, have a wonderful, wonderful day.